Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that is now very old, very, very rare and very collectible, especially in this fantastic condition. We are looking at the 1974 release by Mego from their Star Trek series of figures and accessories. And this particular item or set we are looking at today is of the Star Trek communicators. And they were two communicators that you could speak to each other through. And you could also use them with the communications console, which was a separate item, which we've already actually done a video for some time ago, but these could be used in comparison with the communications console and they will pick up the transmission. Okay, so these are all based on the Star Trek the original series, and it's based on their communicators that they used aboard the USS Enterprise or when they was on a landing party. And as you know, Star Trek the original series was the first of the series in the Star Trek franchise, and it ran from 1966 to 1969. 3 seasons was produced, and 79 episodes in total. Episodes were running for around about 50 minutes each episode, and then come 1969, the series was axed because of declining viewing figures. However, obviously we all know that wasn't the end of Star Trek, because they got together a few years later, 3 years later, and voiced the animated series. So most of the actors returned to lend their voice to their characters that they are portrayed in the original series. And then, of course, it was then that come to an end after a year, and it wasn't until 1979 when the whole team got back together again for Star Trek the Motion Picture. And obviously then we had Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier, and Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, which brought the original crew's time at the movies to an end. I say an end, obviously Captain Kirk, Mr. Scott, and Chekhov, they did make an appearance in Star Trek Generations, which was the movie that bridged the gap between Star Trek the original series and Star Trek Next Generation. Anyway, I don't want to digress any further. Let's look at these particular items, because in my opinion they are fantastic. So at the top of the card it says Star Trek Communicators, and it's item number B51214. It says 2 real Star Trek communicators with authentic sound. Solid state, 7 transistors, sends and receives voice communications or 2-phase warp sounds. And it says with belt clip, and it's 2 9-volt transistor radio batteries required, not included, and it's copyright 1974 Paramount Pictures Corp. And you've got the Mego logo there. I don't know if you can see that actually from the way we're angled, but that's basically what we just read there is on that top card there. And you can see the communicators are still, although the bubble has been lifted and the communicators will come out, they're still all attached into with the card. Now I'm just going to turn the card over and let's see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card over and this is what we got on the back. So it says 7 transistor transceiver. Number 1, telescopic rod antenna. Number 2, push-up torque switch. Number 3, on-off switch and volume control. Number 4 is the speaker microphone. Number 5 is the FCC label. Number 6 is a battery cover. 7, green, red alert signal button. And number 8 is a button clip. And it says how to operate your Star Trek communicator. It says, to install batteries in Star Trek Communicator, use the edge of a coin in the slot where it says open at the bottom of communicators to snap open. Then snap in the 9-volt battery and replace the back cover. There's a little diagram there showing you how to open it. says extend the telescopic antenna to its full length. Turn the on-off switch to on. Your Star Trek communicator is now ready to operate. Press the green, red alert signal button to open the cover for transmission. When transmitting, speak clearly in a normal voice, holding the set about 4 inches from your mouth. To receive, release button number 2, push to talk switch. To transmit alert signal, push in both number 2 buttons, push the talk switch and number 7 button, green red alert switch. When you press the green red alert switch signal button in the green area, you will transmit the green alert signal. When you press the green red alert signal button in the red area, you will transmit the red danger alert signal. Best transmission and reception are obtained when the antenna is held in a vertical position. Low power communication. The transceiver is designed to short distance communication in 27 MC band of the radio spectrum. When used under the regulations and rules in the Part 15 of the Federal Communication Commission, no users are required to get a license or a permission. In this case, the user is prohibited from applying antenna or changing specific batteries supplied to any other types of voltage. Extraction from FCC regulations and rules and Ref Part 15.15/250. The carrier device shall be maintained within the band. The power input to final radio stage shall not exceed 100 megawatts. The antenna shall consist of a single element which does not exceed 5 feet. Caution, your Star Trek communicator set has been fully adjusted prior to shipment from the factory, and be sure not to touch the internal components other than replacing the battery. When the sound becomes weak, it is time to change the batteries. After use, always return the on-off switch to the off position. Keep your set in a dry and clean place. If the set goes wrong, please send it to designated service department. And then you've got all specifications, circuitry, frequency, power output, oscillator, communication method, frequency tolerance, audio power, antenna and power supply. And it says Star Trek Communicators, 1974 Paramount Pictures Corp. Manufactured exclusively for Mego Corp in the British colony of Hong Kong. Mego Corp, 206 Fifth Avenue, New York. It's item number B51214, and it says note, colours and materials are subject to change by manufacturer. Okay, that is the back of the card. What we're going to do now is we're going to turn it back over. We're going to take the communicators out, and we're going to have a look at them off of the card. Okay, so I've removed the communicators from the packet. I've left the packet up the top there so I can see the instructions, so I know what I'm doing and what buttons are what. So let's pick up the one on the left hand side. Let's extend the antenna. Wow, there we are. You can see that antenna just keeps going on and on and on. It's a very, very long antenna. So that I'm just going to close it back down so I don't do any damage to it. So that's the antenna. They're both the same. So so you press the red and green button and the communicator front pops up. Those buttons serve no purpose. And I think you've got volume control there, and your transmit button is on the side. Okay, so to open the item, so you put a coin in there and you twist it so you can open the communicator up and put the battery in. I'm just going to find a relevant coin. Yep, that one's okay. And I've twisted it, so that's come open, and there we have, I'm just going to close that back down again, and there we have the inside of the communicator. And what I'm going to do, I've got some batteries here, so I'm just going to take a battery, I'm going to connect it in. So you can hear it's working already, because it's on. I'm just going to turn that off, which is that. Okay, so I've turned it off because it was on, so I'm just going to try and pop that battery. Maybe the battery just sits like that. Let's try and put that back on Let's see if that is the case. Oh, yes, it is. So the battery just does sit like that. Okay, so there we've got it turned off. I've just flicked that open. And I've turned it on. Now I can't see any... Okay, so I don't see any lights lighting up. It says Telescopic Rod Antenna, push the torque switch, which is number 2, which is that one. Hello, hello, hello. It says on off switch and volume control, which we've got on. FCC Label, which is number 4, which is that there. Number 6 is a battery cover, which we've got there. Number 7, green red alert signal button, which is that one there. And number 8 is your belt clip, which is at the back. So, oh, maybe it doesn't light up. I thought it lit up when... press green red buttons. Speak clearly in an voice. Push the torque. No. So there's no light up. It's just the green and red buttons that you press. And it says to transmit alert signal, push in button number 2, which is that one, and number 7 button, green red button for alert. Okay, when you press the green alert button, signal button in the green area, you will transmit the green alert. When you press the green red alert button, signal button in the green area, you will transmit the green alert signal. When you press the green red alert signal button in the red area, you will transmit the red danger alert. Okay, I can't see a difference in what I'm pressing there, so let's try again. Okay. Is that the difference? I don't know. Okay, let's turn that one off for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the other one, and I'm going to put the battery in the other one as well. So I've got another battery here. And here we go. I don't know if this one is on as well, so this one is not on. Okay, so that's that battery on. Let's close that back up again. Okay, let's turn this one on. Okay, so we can hear it again. That's that opened. I can't really tell the difference between those sounds. Maybe there's a difference. I can't recognise a difference there on the sounds. Okay, I'm going to try and speak in one. I'm going to pick this one up and turn this one off. I'm going to pull up the antenna. And I'm going to turn the volume up. I'm going to see if I can hear myself. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Over. Hello? Can you hear me? Over. Okay, I don't know whether it's working or not. Let's try it on the other one. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Well, that one's definitely picking up the signal. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So you can hear my voice coming through from the second one. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Over. So I can hear that one. So I've just turned the volume up on the second one. I'm going to see if it works now. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, so they are transmitting. They're both transmitting, and they're picking up the signals, and they're working exactly the way they are supposed to work. So if you press that one, I think I'm a bit close to it there. I'll move it out of the way. Yeah, I'm too close. Can you hear me now? Over. So you heard it through that one, and let's do it through this one. Can you hear me now? Over. Yeah, so they're both functioning, they're both working to their full capacity. And this is the, I'll just go on up and show you the height of the antennas, which are right up there, all the way up to my booth in actual fact there. So there we have it. That is these communicators, and they are working perfectly. Now I'm just going to turn the volume off because they are making a... Okay, so I've turned off the first one. And I'm just going to turn off the second one. That's better. They make a lot of noise when they are... they actually stand when that... yeah, they stand up quite nicely when the aerials are out. So I'll just leave them like that for the moment. Okay, let's get some measurements of these communicators, because I mean, I think they're fabulous myself. They're really good. For the time, they were fantastic. So we're looking at a height there of 5.5 inches, which is, what's that, 14 centimeters tall, and we're looking at 7 centimeters wide, or maybe 3 inches wide. And thickness wise, let's come around this side and measure the depth of this one. We're looking at 5 centimeters, which is 2 inches deep. Now, I know you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm just going to measure the length of the antenna, which is well, about 29 inches. So the antennas go out 29 inches long. So yeah, very, very long, and they give you off that tremendous ability to connect. And as I said, you could always use these with the communication center as well, which will also pick up and transmit your voices. Okay, let's put the aerials back down. That's one, and put the other one back down. 2. Let's open them up again so we can see inside these wonderful, wonderful communicators. Now, compared to obviously the communicators that you see these days by Playmates or by whoever else is designing these, making these communicators, they are very different. But great toys, and I think they even though they not exactly the same as what you would expect from a Star Trek replica, and these internal buttons serve no purpose, and the light doesn't light up either. But even so, for the time, 1974, they were absolutely fantastic. Really good fun, and there was a lot of those communicators or walkie-talkie things with the wires on that you could get at the time, and there was also a set of those for Star Trek actually. But this by far outshone those. These communicators look the part. They've got all the Star Trek details on them, and they were functional. So absolutely fabulous. Again, a fabulous toy from Mego. And at the time, 1974, electronic toys were in their absolute infancy. So for Mego to come up with something like this and mass market produce them on a relatively low budget was outstanding, really. What more can I say? So that's the communicators. The question is, how well did they do back in 1974? Well, I would say Mego in 1974 was just coming into its own. I mean, their figures were huge. They were doing such different brands. They had their Star Trek ones. They had the Planet of the Apes ones, and their superheroes ones, their horror ones. There were so many Mego figures that were being produced. And the World's Greatest Heroes was another run. So there were so many, and they were all absolutely brilliant. And to run alongside with those, Mego decided, or with the Star Trek ones, I should say, Mego decided to do some additional items. So they did the bridge playset, which we have also done a video for. They also did the Communication Center, which we've also done a video for. They also did a phaser, and the phaser target game, and they did a console game, which we have never had one, so I can't really tell you a lot about that. And of course, then they done these communicators as well. So there was quite a lot of accessories from Mego, all relating to their Star Trek figures. Although these were full size rather than miniature figure size. And to be honest with you, these are quite big communicators. So they're being a child's hand, they would have seemed to be quite big and heavy. Maybe that was also the attraction. I don't know. But anyway, so yes, they done quite well with these. I don't know the quantities that were produced. I don't think they were huge quantities that were produced of these. And I don't really know how well they sold, but I'm guessing that they would have done. They sold their run, and they sold out and what have you, because they then obviously Mego then moved on from Star Trek onto other figures, and eventually they shut the doors for the last time. I think it was in 1984 when they filed for bankruptcy. So things like these communicators and these communicators seem to be one of those items that just doesn't come around very often. Okay, let's move forward to 2025, which is where we are today. So we're moving forward 51 years since these were produced. Now, back to that point, do they come around very often? The answer to that is no. They don't come up for sale very often. When they do, they're usually advertised as untested, which, well, if they're untested, we basically know they're not working. So occasionally you'll see them pop up unfunctional. You hardly ever see them come with their packaging like this set has. And quite often you can see them when they do come up on a platform. You'll see you've only got one, or one of them is working, one of them is not, and that kind of thing. So you know, they when they do come up, there's usually great faults with them, or they're broken. The antennas are broken. The cover is broken, doesn't flick up anymore, or what have you, and or they don't turn on, the switches don't turn on, things don't work basically. And you just know if it says on a platform untested, well, that's as good as saying these things don't work. I couldn't get them to work, so I'm saying they're untested, because that way I don't have to say they don't work and drop the price. So pretty much that's basically what they're doing on platforms. So yes, they do come up occasionally on platforms, but again, it's all about condition. And if you are buying on a platform, just be very, very careful. A lot of them use stock photographs and stock descriptions, so you could end up ordering something that you just don't want. You may see an image of this set on a platform and find that that's not exactly what you're going to be buying, because you're never going to find these new, so you're going to be clicking. It's all going to be used items, and some of the platforms automatically go to the cheapest used one. So it could be one that's used with just one communicator, or it could be broken or in bits missing off it and what have you, and you're looking at an image of a set like this, which is almost mint. Anyway, so just be very careful if you are planning to buy on a platform. Now, we at Midas Touch, we do not believe in stock photographs. So on our website, what you see is exactly the item that you will be purchasing. And this set is no exception to that. So the photographs on the website we have are exactly for this set of communicators. Now, we only have this one set, and you can see the condition of these set. They are almost immaculate. And the reason for that was because these belonged to a Star Trek collector who had retired, and they were relocating abroad. And obviously a lot of his collection he couldn't take with him because he didn't want to ship a lot of stuff. So he just kept some very small items and offered us the rest of the his collection that he collected for over 45 years or so. And we were very fortunate to crack that deal and buy all of his products from him. And these communicators was part of that collection. Now, he never played with them. He was just a collector, and he had them in a cabinet with the board behind it. So even though the board was open, the tray and the outer bubble is still all attached. And the card, as you can see, is also in fabulous condition. Just looking at the back of that card, you can see what great condition it is in, as are the communicators. Now, when I look at these communicators, I can't see any wear or marks on them. Undoubtedly, there's going to be one or two where they've been popped down and maybe lifted and so on. But generally, can't really see any kind of damage with these at all. They are just absolutely in almost pristine condition. Very slight colour difference here. Don't understand why that is, but maybe it's just my eyes or the lighting in here. But they looks like there's a very slight colour difference. Okay, one set available, and as of today, these are available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website. You'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful, fantastic, fully working Star Trek Mego communicator set with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. So bye for now.